together with the bodies of the dead, and I will wait for life and breathe again.
Welcome to the Last Roundup Horror Show. Now exclusively on TikTok because I don't have time to edit the long YouTube versions anymore. I just don't. I don't have
Get
time.
those TikTok bites.
Yeah, we get more views there anyways. But ultimately, I'm filing everything away. Maybe someday I'll release full versions again. But work's got me weighed down, and as Jason's not even here again, so that's what that's doing to him. But we did watch some movies this month. Curse of the Puppet Master is what we're starting out with. Summary for this film: an unsuspecting woodcarver goes to work for an evil collector of living puppets, Dr. Mayhew, who made Magu McGrew. Oh, there's no R in that.
There is it?
I'm not in the IMDb that I pulled. Who is looking for his next victim by transferring the soul of another unsuspecting person into one of his puppets. Directed by David DeCoto, who we've talked about his films in the past. He did Dream Maniac, that classic. Creepazoids, also a real classic. And one we haven't watched, but I think I remember being better than those. Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bowl-orama. Isn't that about
that's a fun one? I own that.
Isn't it got like a djinn in it or something, like a genie or
an imp?
An imp, yeah.
Yeah, the little demon.
This movie's written by Neil Marshall Stevens, who did some stuff that I think's all right. He did Head of the Family, which, if you remember that Full Moon picture.
Never seen it.
Shrieker. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Another Full Moon. He worked on Full Moon stuff a lot. Also did a weird Hellraiser, Hellraiser Deader. I've never seen that. So
it's not very good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one with Kari Warder.
Yeah.
That's the draw. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth a watch if you've never seen it. But yeah.
Is that the one with the green cover or something like that?
No, that's Hellworld, and Henry Cavill's first role.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
God, I haven't watched that one in forever either. Yeah.
Not terrible. There's way worse movies.
They made it. How many Hellraisers did they make? Fucking
a lot.
Yeah, they unwind.
Are they on 10 yet?
I think they're on like 8 or 9, maybe 10.
10 might be stretching it. 9,
yeah,
I feel like at least.
Because if you count the reboot and then this new version, I think you'd be right around 10. So yeah.
But you definitely notice a difference in quality in this opening credit sequence. It almost seems like an intro for a Puppet Master series or something that would be on Sci-Fi Channel or something. My favorite move is when the guy goes to poach this guy. There's this idiot, right? He's an idiot. We can say that. This character Tank. Yeah, Simple Jack from what's that movie?
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, but this guy is working at a gas station for $35 a week. Now, this is not what I say, 1998.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I don't. Was he making 35 or was it 30? And he upped it to 35. Regardless, criminally underpaid for what this guy's doing. He's an artisan. He's carving and he's got these little wood pieces that have to be perfectly carved. But I just thought that was crazy. I mean, even $35 a week for an unskilled teen in 1998.
He gets to live
in 1998. You know,
he gets to live rent free on the compound. That's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah. And generally they treat this guy like he's a little kid instead of a slow adult, which is pretty funny. The daughter makes him go to bed after dinner. Like, what the fuck time was that? Like, she's like, go to bed. It's like he's like 30 minutes. It's like 9 p.m. at the least, you know, like what. Let him watch America's Funniest Home Videos or something, you know. But this movie seemed like it was commissioned for the USA Network. Like, it's short, so it seemed like they would put a lot of commercials into it. Yeah, during one of the Tubi commercial breaks, I noticed an ad for silk. Like, I kept waiting like for an ad for silk stockings or La Femme Nikita. There was like,
Oh yeah.
it seemed like that. I was waiting for it at every commercial break. But the gang of antagonists don't make any sense to me. Don't these adult men have jobs to go to? Like, there's this gang of ruffians or whatever. They don't have child support to pay or like blood pressure medicine to like go get their script renewed or whatever. Uh, uh there's like these gang scenes that seem disconnected, and then these romance scenes that seem disconnected, and that's most of the movie.
Yeah.
Very little puppet stuff, and then some of the stuff they reused from other movies. So real thin. It's about an hour. Not many kills, but the death of the dude lifting weights at the hands of Blade and Tunneler was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That guy was a really fine actor. That's all I could say. A really realistic character. I actually really enjoyed the ending, which I didn't remember. I owned this on VHS. I had bought it from like one of the local video stores when they were closing down, just in the plastic case. So I never even knew what the cover of it looked like. But all I really remembered from it was the woodworking nightmare that he has, where he's like he opens up his chest and he's got like gears and shit in there.
So pretty much the cover.
Yeah, basically. But I don't think the thing that's weird is this dude's been working with wood through the whole movie, right? And then finally his creation is unveiled and he's put into it, and it's got a fucking little screen on it and shit. That guy, as good as he was at carving little things out of wood, does not know circuitry or electronics whatsoever. But
He
it's
just
not the
lawnmower manned himself.
yeah, that's what it reminded me of too.
For sure. I made that.
They were
comparison.
probably definitely pulling from that.
Mhm.
But this isn't the worst David Dakota film, so I gave it a 4 out of 10. It was nice to briefly see the puppets. You know, they were in there. What do you say, guys?
So this is one of those ones I never saw before. After they were done being good guys, I could just kind of didn't watch any more of the series. Like I never saw Retro, Puppet Master, none of that stuff either. Right away, as soon as it was like, oh, here's a dummy at a gas station, I was like, oh, Lawnmower Man. All right, cool. All right, so I kind of, in a roundabout way, figured out like what was going to end up happening to him. What dude? That dude's daughter was freaky. She was just, she was just DTF, man. Like she just anything to walk in. She was ready for it. Except that dude bench pressing 60 pounds going, yeah, baby. Yeah. His fucking dirty talking, his 60-pound weights. What a tool. What a douchebag. He's a jerk. One part that I really liked and I thought it was just really fucked up is when the daughter goes and digs up what he smuggled out at the beginning. And it was their old assistant as the puppet. And she just leaves him there. He's all like half burned and shit.
Wasn't he saying something like
alive?
me or something?
He was
you know?
talking.
No, he was just like, Jane.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God. And throws it down. I'm like, dude, at least kill him.
Yeah.
Like, you knew who it was. You saw what happened to him. At least finish it off, man. Like, just step on his head. It'll be super quick. Just, he's the size of a Barbie doll. That was like the most messed up part of the movie. The way it just ended, he's like, all right, I'm on TV now. Zap.
Yeah.
Credits. I was like, what?
Right.
That's it? That's how it ends?
They got another movie to make, man. They're full.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. But it wasn't bad. It was, not a lot of puppets, but when they were on screen, they did their thing. The kills that were in it were few but bloody, so that was cool. I also noted about Tunneler and Blade. Tunneler, I said Tunneler gets that dude in the junk. I thought that was funny. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. So I had a good time with this one though. I gave it a 5.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, basically gonna say the same things you guys did, really. It looked like it was filmed on a VHS tape or for a TV movie.
Oh, sure.
It had a $250,000 budget, by the way. I looked it up to see. So I mean,
Wow.
for 98 standards, that's not bad. I don't know
The
why it looks.
animation of the dolls was smoother. So
Yeah,
that's probably where it went.
but that was the other problem too. I noticed too that Frank had made me watch, well, not made me, but we watched, a couple of these, and the some of the clipped scenes that were from other movies. I was like, oh, that's from like 2 movies ago.
Yeah,
So
That's a full moon staple.
if you saw
Yeah.
stop motion, it was from something else because this
Okay.
movie was the first one that they didn't use stop motion. I don't know what they did. At some points, it does seem like it's just some guy holding a doll and like
Yeah.
moving it across.
especially when they're sitting on the bed together and he fixed
He's like-
it like cut, she sits him down and it like cuts and he's not on a bed, he's like in a fucking different room.
Yeah.
Like I just noticed it was very noticeable to me. So I thought the acting was pretty bad in this one. There were some parts where I was like, this is clearly just cheese, so I have to just deal with it. So um I hated that it ended on a cliffhanger as well. Like you build it all up and then that just ends. I was like, the fuck is going on here? So
And it literally just ends right
yeah.
after it happens.
Just
Like, boom.
done. Yeah.
Like, what?
I liked the puppets. Like I said, when they were in it, they were cool. I did think that some of the kills could have been more gory, but I mean, maybe that's not traditional for the series. I'm not as familiar with it all over, but it seemed like they were just splashing red paint on people. I don't know. It didn't look like it was coming from a wound at all. So, but I liked the nightmare with the clock parts was awesome, and I thought the puppet master himself he's a really cool character. I like this story. So I just wish that it was better done, done a little bit better. But I enjoyed this one. I'm gonna say enjoyed. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to when 5 minutes into it. But when it was over, I was kind of like, man, I like the other one a lot better that we watched before. Which one was that, Frank? By the way, do you remember?
5, right?
5, yeah.
5. Yeah, I like 5 much better, but this one was okay. So I gave it a 5 out of 10 too. It was not something I would buy or anything, but it was fine to watch on a Saturday. So
All right, it's time for trailer trash. Jean Paul, welcome
All
back.
right, guess what, guys? I didn't die, so I'm still alive.
yay.
Woo!
No death.
Woo! All right, so from what I heard and saw, you guys also did not get canceled, as I see, because you apparently did not enjoy my Vine Voyage Death Before Surgery picks from last month. Lolly
They
Love
look pretty
is
bad.
a classic.
Lolly Love was one that I do want to see. So
I do
Yeah.
want to see that too.
It's on Amazon Prime, written by Pam from The Office and her
I love it.
lovely ex-husband James Gunn, and he's not canceled.
Mhm.
were they really married?
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Makes more
Uh,
sense now.
And-
If you
and-
see his new wife, he traded up. So
I mean,
Oh.
I think
what a
they're- I mean,
pig.
I think they're equal. I mean,
Well,
one's a
you'd be
blonde,
wrong.
one's a brunette. They're about the same. One's 10 years younger than his last wife.
Of course.
my man.
My man. So I'm glad that I'm still alive. Everyone, yay! Clap for me.
Hooray.
Yeah, we did
Hooray!
already.
Thank you.
Hooray! Hey, we did it off camera. This is during.
You're
camera.
also making me now want that to change. So let's get going here.
Oh
Yeah.
snap! All
That's
right,
rough.
so
Coming out
so
hot.
let me torture you with some lovely pickings this month. All right,
You get it now, Randy.
all right, you did
Yeah.
it. All right, so two
Terrible.
young sisters find all these mirrors in their strange aunt's house, and they're covered or hidden. Which one happens to find another one in the basement? and someone secretly, unknowingly releases a malicious demon. This is 2020's Behind You.
Boy, here we go. Let's load it up.
I don't want them here.
Quiet.
They're your nieces. The best thing for them is to be with family.
There are some rules you'll need to follow. This door leads to the basement. It stays locked at all times.
I saw Mom.
Where?
In the basement.
Just told you not to go there.
Don't you know I love you? Don't you know?
People always have candles in the basement all the time, just ready.
I mean, my
Lit.
basement's full of them. I just light them up. Uh-oh, it's your mommy.
Is that you?
I don't think it is.
Say the words, Claire.
Mirror. Open wide. Let the spirit come inside. Mirror, mirror. Open wide. Let the spirit come inside. Mirror, mirror. Open wide. Let the spirit come inside. I want to get it out. I want to get it out.
There could be no me without you.
There could be no me without you guys.
That actually
So,
looks good.
So,
Yeah,
so
Terrible.
let me tell you about this movie because I'm gonna ruin it right away. Every cliche that you know every horror movie has, this movie has. Every single cliche under the sun. And you're gonna be like bored with it after the first 15 minutes.
Mm.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right. It's streaming on Tubi, Prime, and Hulu.
Nice.
Go to town.
I'll take your word for it and not watch it.
Yeah. Remember, this segment is called Trailer Trash.
Yeah. That
And
wasn't
this is-
quite up to the trash level I'm used to. So it's
No.
surprising.
Yeah.
I know, but if you were to watch it, you wouldn't understand what kind of trash you're getting into.
Can't be as bad as Titanic 666, man.
I mean, I'm sorry you did not love Titanic 666. That was not a part of Trailer Trash. That was actually my pick. So
know.
fuck you.
I'm just saying.
So fine. Let me see if I can move on to some more trashiness for you. Okay. In 1987, I was 10 years old, and I had a friend of mine who was a 16-year-old who would always take me to horror movies. And he took me to this movie. He also took me to Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Thank God for that. So Detective John Bishop and his doctor friend Rachel Carlson must find a way to stop this ginormous monster insect from eating people in this quarantine hospital. They have to let it out before they don't want to let it out
Oh no.
because it will start procreating and spread this deadly infection called COVID. I mean,
Okay.
Blue
Did
Monkey.
you say
I
you
had
had
a
a
feeling.
16-year-old friend when you were 10?
yes, I did.
I'm just saying. That's kind
Either
of
John Paul was real cool
Yeah.
or this dude was a loser.
Yeah.
Or I was a latchkey kid and my parents didn't really love
Right.
me.
Oh,
What
well,
else you
that's
gonna do?
different. Yeah, he had to take you.
No,
places.
but look, Jean Paul had a really cool friend later on whenever he was how old would he be when that dude was 21?
I don't know. This same guy is also the same guy when I turned 11 took me to my first Guns N' Roses concert. So there's
Oh,
that.
wow.
There's that.
There is that.
you
Yeah.
know?
Did he try to boot you up with heroin or something?
Yeah. Was he like, go get us some brewskis? Woo!
I don't know. I was like, and again, I was always bigger looking than my actual age, so I probably looked like I was 13. So I was like 3 years difference, maybe.
So you were Lenny. Gotcha.
That's right. I was Lenny.
He was
I got-
protecting the older guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Blue monkey time.
Blue
Monkey time.
Oh, this looks more like it.
Damn it!
At 7 p.m., County Memorial Hospital was placed under a Class 4 quarantine alert.
I love this
COVID.
guy.
Strain of bacteria with a configuration like this.
I miss his
Gotten
voiceovers.
into their patients that worries them. It's what's getting out.
Oh my god. It's one of a kind. I gotta get closer.
The entrances are completely sealed.
It's really happening?
Something big.
No one is permitted in or out until further notice.
Friday night. It's always like this.
Hurry, the little bugger's on its way!
Oh my god.
The male paralyzes the victim by stinging. When those eggs hatch, you're gonna have a lot of hungry larvae.
Oh my god, you're still alive.
And we're not stealing the Jaws theme either.
Break into the hospital from below. Go, get out of here!
The blue monkey's coming!
I said fire!
The blue monkey is coming.
David Jordan, what are you doing here?
Let's give you a birth.
And coming.
We still have a few bugs.
And coming.
And coming.
Still coming. Blue monkey.
No, it's called Insect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposed to be
It's one of those movies that had many different titles, I'm sure.
Mm.
But
I
Blue
wanna
Monkey
watch
is
it.
the most randomest title because there are no
I
monkeys.
want to watch it, and I love that guy was making a cum joke at the end. It was
Well,
fantastic.
well, no, that's how the thing goes around. It just goes around procreating. It just
Coming.
goes
I know.
around
I got
fucking.
the joke. I got it.
Got it. All right, so I decided to be nice to you guys and be on brand since I noticed you guys were watching all of these Puppet Master movies and everything, and I couldn't pick one of my least favorite Puppet Masters as my trailer trash. So, because I have to stay on brand and I have to pick a trauma movie,
You don't have to.
robbed of his livelihood, Goot, his name is Goot,
Oh boy.
now goes by Gut Boy, and he meets a mermaid, so it's on brand with the Little Mermaid that's out in the theaters right now, that grants him a wish. He then becomes Gut Boy. This is Gut Boy, a bedtime story from Trauma.
Never.
Love that music.
Well, hello, stranger. Nice fishing rod you've got there.
Oh, it's nothing special. Just how I earn my keep.
I'll trade you $6 for it.
What? No, you can't.
What about your skin?
It's a nasty world. I earned this gold with every drop of dripping I had. Dominated by greed.
If you lose one more dog, I will melt you down and sell your bones.
Subjugated by corruption.
Stop obstructing!
And permitted by petty bureaucracy.
I need to know who you are so I can fill out the forms.
And our only hope is this goofy dumbass.
Oh, man. It's so dumb. It's not gonna work. I've tried a lot of different ideas.
Gut boy.
Gut boy.
Gut boy.
I want revenge.
Perfect. We can sneak into his bedroom, raise that hammer, and give him a serious bonk in the face.
I've got one that's way better. Let's drink all his wine.
Tug, how nice to see you. I love your hat.
You learn a lot of things on the ocean floor, like how to please a man.
Hey, on this island, I'm the boss.
No laws out here.
Give me your breath!
What's a daughter?
Nothing illegal, I assure you.
We're supposed to get revenge on him.
Finally come for me!
Hi there!
Oh. Gut boy.
Jesus.
Whoop.
A bad time story.
It doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
There you go, Randy.
I've got no
Randy-
words. I've got no
Randy,
words.
you love puppets, and I gave you puppets.
Those are like
I
the
also
shittiest-
like puppets. I probably won't check that out, but
Yeah.
It was like Mark Weiner made that movie or something.
So
Remember
there's my
Wienerville?
trash for you guys.
Yeah.
So along with that, there's because I have to give this fun fact because it's going around. Meet the Feebles and the Muppets live in the same universe. Just
Oh,
ponder
yeah,
that
I
one.
saw that. Yeah.
I mean, I watched all of the Electric Mayhem on Disney Plus, and when Sir Lord of the Rings himself, Peter Jackson, came and said that they're in the same universe, it was the greatest thing ever.
yeah, that was pretty funny. They were like, yeah, that was a messed up night.
Yeah.
So I brought you trash. So there you go.
You did. You did.
I
Thank
hope
you.
to bring you more trash next month because I have my surgery coming up for real this time.
Right.
Yeah.
If it
If you
happens.
don't get that surgery, people are going to start to think that you're really just
Yeah.
You're just scamming GoFundMe.
I'm just John Lovitz from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
If anybody gets that one.
I do not.
That's a deep cut, but I got it.
Thanks for doing
Yeah.
this to us again.
There's your trash. Enjoy. Enjoy
Thanks,
your
buddy.
Puppet Master. Enjoy what was the other movie that everybody's gonna get to watch?
The
today?
Manitou. Yeah.
Oh, Manitou. Yeah, have fun with that one.
We will.
I hear it's a winner.
Yeah, it's great.
I liked it. Well, see you next time, John Paul.
Take
Bye,
care,
John
guys.
Paul.
All right, let's get into it. 1978's The Manitou. How were you guys saying it?
It's a Manitou.
Manitou, I guess. Yeah.
I think
Manitou.
it's
There you
Manitou.
go. Summary for this film: a psychic's girlfriend finds out that a lump on her back is a growing reincarnation of a 400-year-old demonic Native American spirit. Directed by William Girdler, who did 3 on a Meat Hook, Grizzly, and Day of the Animals. He also passed away right after making this movie, like on the plane ride home, I believe.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Written by Graham Masterson, William Girdler, and John Cedar. It has Tony Curtis in it, who's how old do you suppose he is? Like 40?
In this?
What in this
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
Probably 50, I'd say,
You
right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like 50.
So like I'm not really familiar with what he's done. Like I know the name, I know what he looks like, like I've seen him in clips.
Have you
or
seen
whatever.
the biggest one he did was Some Like It Hot with Jack Lemmon and
Oh yeah,
Marilyn
they
Monroe.
were in drag.
I'm
Yeah.
aware that's a Marilyn Monroe movie. I've never seen it.
It's really funny, man. Jack Lemmon's hilarious. It's one of the only movies from that time period that I can stomach. So
yeah, it's a rough time period.
Yeah.
But when he turns, he's like a psychic, right? He's got this mystical music going on in the background at the beginning opening scene. He's like reading some fortune or whatever. She leaves. And then he turns that music off, turns on this funky 70s bachelor pad music, pours himself a beer into a wine glass,
right,
and dances around it a little bit. I'm like, this
Classic.
is already more entertaining than that Puppet Master movie. So like I've already got it at like a 5 early on. But there are a lot of charming things I found about this. I know you guys didn't like it, so I'll let you shit on it after I say the things I thought were cool.
All right.
The old lady falling down the stairs is undeniably one of the most brutal and hilarious old lady falling
So
down the
funny.
flight of stairs
Oh my
scenes in
God.
cinematic history. And it's so funny because he mentions that several times that happened, that this client threw herself down the stairs. Never fucking once does he mention that she floats to the edge of the stairwell
Yeah.
and then falls over. But yeah, I liked that. It was really took a lot of work. I gotta give him credit to make it look like she broke all the fucking things on the way down. Really good.
Kept going every single one.
Yeah, I really love the extremely outdated, for the time, probably top-notch computer technology. It's always something I look forward to in the movies from this time period. It's like a computer, it's like that fucking computer from The Thing that's just for chess. Like this. This computer evidently controls the whole hospital or whatever, and it's just hilarious. It's just this huge lit up buttons. Looks like fucking came right off the set of Airplane or Airplane 2 or something.
Or Batman.
But yeah,
Batman show.
I like a lot of the stuff from this period of time. Every little touch of 78 makes me feel nostalgic for a period of time I wasn't even alive for, like the hospital has saline in these big glass things. I'm like, that's so fucking weird. The vehicles were so specific to the time. Almost every one of them seemed like it was probably Blair and Foghat out of the 8-track player. Everything has that really certain shade of brown from like the 70s and 80s. All the magical words they chant in this movie, they seem like straight up bullshit, which is very Panawichi Salatu. If you ask me, I enjoyed all of it. I was like, this shit is, first of all, this is the exact kind of movie that when people say that they want something that's not woke, because they didn't take into any consideration the feelings of any Native American that ever existed, ever.
This was the most stereotypical Native American guy I think I'd seen in 20 years.
I guarantee you, I didn't look it up, but I guarantee you he was not Native American. I guarantee.
Oh,
it's probably not at all. It seems like they were completely unaware of the cultural insensitivity that the story contains. Like, they attach black magic to Native American culture in a very strange way, and that's kind of it. I understand when people say, I don't, it's going to be woke, but because it won't be like this. Like, they're not going to go, they're going to do some research if they so decide to do something this offensive, like culturally offensive. They'll try to smooth out the edges at least. I love that Burgess Meredith is in it. He's part of the cultural insensitivity. He's talking about Indian magic and all this stuff. He's got a sweet goatee mustache combo. Fucking amazing. And the funniest thing that happens involving the Native American culture and the magic of the Indians, or whatever they want to say, is whenever Tony Curtis and his Native American friend, what's his name?
John Singing, is it Singing Rock?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's got the bed outlined in salt or something. What is it? Or
he's got salt. Yeah.
And then he's got these sticks and he's clinking them together. That shit was so fucking funny. And then the fact that it's what's the dude's name? Vic Morrow or whatever, the guy that plays Cousin It is the little guy that pops out, the little shaman.
Oh, that was him. I didn't know that.
Whatever the guy's name that plays Cousin Ed on the Addams Family.
Is it Victor Silla?
Maybe that's it.
Something like that.
Yeah. And when you see there's a point where you see the spirit of the lizard of the trees. And when that moment happens, when you see this thing, I wanted to give this movie an award for like the shittiest special effects. It's nothing like, it looks like a man in a lizard costume.
Oh my god.
From fucking Spirit Halloween or something, but it's very bad. The ending though, man, it was like someone had seen Flash Gordon and read a bunch of heavy metal magazines and like had a dream about how he was going to end his movie or something, because it is bonkers. There's like asteroids flying around, psychedelic devil lasers, cryptic nonsense and I don't understand the Manitou thing. Everything has a Manitou. The hospital electronics
Life force,
have a Manitou,
right?
I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, something like that.
yeah. Well, I give it a solid 6. I had fun. It was fun. It was weird and stupid. And brown. Yeah, fun.
So I watched this actually not long before it was picked. Just because I'd heard about it but never saw it. And it was a product of his time. I just read that that American Indian was he's Syrian. He was Syrian born in
Yeah.
as a child. I mean, this is all right, I guess. Like it had star power, you know. Tony Curtis was like at the kind of tail end of his career there, you know. Susan Strasberg was the name I recognized. Couldn't tell you every single movie she's been in, but she was similar. The first time watching it, I was like, why is this almighty fucking world eating demon a little guy? Why is why did they make him a little person?
Why didn't they explain that? Yeah.
So check it out. I think they did, and it was very like matter of factly. They're talking about every time they do x-rays, they kill cells. And they x-rayed that thing a whole bunch of times. So they dwarfed it up.
Oh.
And he's pissed. That's what they said.
Okay.
That's what the John Singing Rock said. He goes, well, you heard him. He's mad. I like the depiction of the devil, that old spirit, you know, that formless whatever it is.
Yeah.
I liked how they did that. I thought that was cool. Like that makes sense to not have various forms. Tony Curtis, great actor. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis's dad, married to from Janet Leigh from Psycho, and you know, many other movies. But this was not his finest hour. It definitely wasn't. This movie was just bad.
I believe I read that he wasn't going to do this movie because there were no Native American people in it. And then he was like, well, I got to get some money, you know?
Yeah.
Tony Curtis needs a new pool, he said.
Yeah, right. I like when the computer blows up that doctor. I thought that was a pretty
that was cool.
That was unexpected. I thought he was going to live, but he's the one that did all the hurt, you know, the operations and shit. That whole last scene though. That was fucking ambitious. Way beyond what they could do then. Like it looked so bad. The way the Manitou was, that's what I'm calling the guy because I can't remember his name, his whatever. Panawitchy dummy, whatever his name is. He was like cut off. He was like framed in there, like from like, I don't know, just above his knees up. He looked like an Olin Mills photo, the way it was set. You know what I'm talking about? Those two little, just the way everything was framed. He looked like just like, all right, let's throw this guy in there. He's funny and he laughs the whole time. He just
I love it when they're dodging the asteroids too. It's like
it was, and then she gets powers. Susan Strasberg gets powers and stuff, and and with a big smile doing it. That shit was so funny. She's like, jazz hand.
She had pretty great boobs in that scene.
Oh yeah, she did.
Didn't expect that, honestly.
Me neither.
That was probably what I'll bet you it was rated PG.
Oh, probably.
And they got some PG boobage in there.
Yep, that was the time where you would slip that stuff in there.
Yeah. I mean, I ended up giving it a 5. I didn't even look at who directed this or nothing. I love Grizzly. Grizzly's a big old piece of cheese. Like that's a fun ass movie. I would have. Oh, it is rated PG. I just looked. I
Yeah.
No
guessed
shit.
on it. I was like, there was not much happening in it that it could be rated
But
R.
that was a long scene at the end, and there was
Yeah.
mostly, you know,
Mhm.
we were hanging.
Oh
So-
yeah, that was, oh my god, it was so long too. Like, just I don't know, man.
yeah.
It really was. Yeah.
It was, you know what it felt like to me? Do you remember before video games were video games, they had those little weird toys that would be like a screen. It's like you're driving and it's not really driving. It's just like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
like,
I love those.
it
Yeah,
looked like, it reminded me of that, like that kind of early,
Right.
just a conveyor
whatever.
belt of a road.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
yeah.
took one apart once. It's just a picture on a
Uh-huh.
wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the car is attached to the steering
Yeah, I mean,
wheel.
you just
You
Yeah,
felt
I
like you
love
were doing something.
That's how boring we were kids when we were kids.
Hey man, it was all we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool as
But,
shit.
Well, I'm with John. I did not enjoy this movie. I Frank, I just have to say, like, I was thinking about this as I was watching it. I'm like, you gave Night Eats the World such a low score, and I
fuck
found that one to
shit.
be such a more engaging movie.
There was nothing fun in it.
I was bored out of my fucking mind for about an hour of this movie. Like, I was sitting there like, he can't really like this. Like, this is boring shit. Like,
to me, sometimes I can watch shit that's just from this time period
Yeah.
and just live in it for a while, man. Like, it
Yeah.
is,
I
it is,
guess.
it is
Yeah.
fun to see.
The rent's
know,
cheap.
You know, it's and there's
1978.
there's fun things that happen. Like, for me,
Oh.
the ending was bonkers, and I liked that. It was fucking stupid, and God, there's asteroids. They've brought the devil into this.
This is a definition of a slow burn movie for sure. Like, it's just a bunch of shit, like, here's these setups and then it gets progressively crazier.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, Burgess Meredith, when I looked it up, he's on the fucking like marquee. So I was expecting him to be in a big chunk of this, and he's in it for 5 minutes.
Yep.
So that right away, I was like, what the
Power.
fuck? He made me laugh though the whole time. So that was crazy. Yeah, the thing on the back of her neck grows and grows and grows. It has a really cool popping out of her skin scene. I thought was neat.
That was
but it's so silly at the same time.
Oh yeah.
That I couldn't get into it. I couldn't take it seriously. I was like,
you shouldn't have taken it seriously.
Yeah.
Every word that they said, you should have been laughing at it because it's like
they were playing it so serious.
But they're explaining the dumbest shit that's ever been written down.
Really
the thing I liked though, I don't normally like Tony Curtis. Like I said, I like that one movie he did with Jack Lemmon and Marilyn Monroe, Some Like It Hot. But I've never been a fan of it. I wasn't like, oh my God, I got to see that Tony Curtis movie everybody was telling me about. So, but I thought that was a highlight for me. I thought he did a really good job as being this fucking shyster character. Like, that's probably, for me, if I had to pick one thing to tell people, give this a whirl. You're not going to really like it, maybe, probably. But his acting, he's scamming people out of money at the beginning, and by the end he's fighting a Native American demon. Like, it's a pretty big turnaround for that character. I liked it. I liked that a lot. I thought the running rock guy was pretty cool, but he was. I cringed, and maybe that's because we're in this time period now. But he's like, "You got any tobacco?" I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
he also
I mean,
says that line, something about heap big something or other. He does he makes reference to it being like stereotypical, but
he's trying to tell that he's an Indian.
Yeah. I was like, gee, like, come on, guy. Like, even in 1978, like, that was probably not the coolest thing to do. I don't know. But overall, like, that ending was just nuts. When it was over, I was glad it was over. It was long as fuck. So I was just kind of like, good, I'm glad this is over. But that ending stuck with me. I was thinking about it when we were getting prepared earlier. I'm like, that was ambitious for that time. It could look really cool later, like they ever did this again, maybe with some better ideas.
This is one of of those films that could benefit from a remake. I mean,
Yeah.
if the right person did it.
You know what's fucking hilarious though, dude? The image of that girl, what's the actress, the woman who's in the bed, at the end with the devil thing in the sky behind her and the little dude down here.
Yeah.
That looked like an Ozzy Osbourne album cover. Like straight up, man.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Crazy Train Volume 2. Yeah. But yeah, overall I gave it a 4 out of 10. It's not one I'll ever watch again, ever.
Right.
But it was infuriating. I had to stop it twice. I'm bored out of my mind. I'm going to play some fucking video games for about half an hour and then come back to this. So, and then the second time was to pee.
Sometimes you got to do that.
You went to Hogwarts.
I did.
I did that with Night Eats the World or whatever. It took me like 3 sessions to get through that.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, the reason that if it's a slow burn, which you say, it does seem like you're right on that. If it is, the reason that I can stand it and enjoy myself throughout is because literally every plot point that they are talking about is fucking stupid and dumb and nonsense. Now think about it. If you question why I like this, I want you to try to explain this movie to anybody you work with. Just explain it to them. And then halfway through, when you get to the point where you're like, okay, so they open this door and it's like the universe. Like when you get to that point, then you can go, I get it. He likes dumb shit. And then you can be like,
I'm glad you explained it because I was trying to rectify it in my head. I was like, how did he find that boring? And this is fucking boring.
When they're so dead serious about it, and they're like, well, he's an Indian shaman growing out of her neck. He's growing. He's like, they're so serious about it. It's like, are you for fucking real? You've made up some horse shit. Like, why would it be in her neck? Why wouldn't it grow in her fucking womb? Like any other.
She's got a fetus growing on her neck. You know, like what the fuck?
You read that text at the end, right?
Oh, probably not.
It said that this something happened somewhere. Some kid ended up growing a fetus on his neck. That's what they said in the movie. And I didn't Google it or anything. I was like,
sure.
Oh, good. It's over. All right, bye.
Yeah, right. Me too. I was like, hey,
I don't want to give this movie any more brain cells.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are up for next month. Do you have picks? Did you even think about it?
I did, but if you give me a couple more days, I'll narrow it down. I got about 3 ideas, but I want to see where they're streaming and everything. So, I'll pick something good though for you.
All right, I'll put my pick in. I don't have anything yet either. I'll put my pick in when Ray does it.
Okay. Yeah, just give me like to the weekend probably. If that's cool. Is that all right?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys have any show and tell stuff or no?
I did.
Oh,
yeah.
I got something.
So a couple of cool things. First off, I went to Half Price Books. I was killing some time and I forget what I was doing, but I had like an hour to kill, so I went there. But anyways, I got it for $7.99, and this is the original miniseries on Blu-ray. So I'm pretty excited about that. I wanted to buy this a while back, and I didn't get to, and so I was like, "Hey, $7.99, that's not a bad price."
Does it have any special features on it?
It's got it has the director commentary, but it also has commentary by Tim Reed, John Ritter, and Richard Thomas. And,
hey, man.
Yeah, so. I don't see Tim Curry on here though for that, so I don't know. I haven't got to watch it yet.
That John Ritter commentary might be something special.
Yeah, but I'm pretty excited about it because I haven't watched this in a while, anyways, and I was like, I'll throw this in maybe this weekend and check it out. Then I had the most exciting thing happen to me. I wanted to get the Critters collection for a while, and I found it for $25 on sale. On Amazon. I don't know why, but they're having it for like 2 days.
That I paid so much more than that for that.
Yeah, it was $25.99.
I think it was like 65 or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's the Scream
It
Factory
was not on
one.
sale. It was just straight up whatever Scream Factory charges for that shit.
So it's got all 4 in it, and they're all on Blu-ray. So I finally have all these.
Which cover you got? You got the old school or the new look on the DVDs?
This is the
They have reversible art. I flipped mine onto the old.
I was gonna say, I think
I usually do that too.
I don't think I messed with it yet, but I'm pretty sure you're right. I think the covers are the newer ones. So
Well, if reversible, there's one on each
yeah,
side.
cool.
So,
But yeah, it's exciting. And then one more thing, I was going through some old shit and I found I don't think this series gets enough talk, enough play, and I wanted to talk about it because I love this series. The Prophecy. There are 5 movies. Okay, Christopher Walken's in 3 of them. But I fucking love this series. I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about it. It's the other movies without Christopher Walken, their quality isn't as good, obviously, but the story is still fantastic. I mean, it is
Angels and Demons, right? Is that what
yeah, it's basically the first part of the movies are about them trying to get this soul to lead heaven in a war or hell in a war, depending on who gets the soul. So the apocalypse basically, and then parts 4 and 5 are about the angel uprising and the demon uprising in general, like what's going on after they fail to get the soul. And it's got some of the coolest visuals. These were all like 90s, early 2000s. It's got some really good production value for fucking direct to DVD movies, man. The original Prophecy came out in theaters, but all the other sequels came directly to DVD. And I got this, I think, at Walmart for like $5 once, and it's all of them. And I was like, I'm gonna watch these again. But I wanted to talk about it. The Prophecy series, if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah, that might be hard to find anywhere else other than DVD.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I didn't look for Blu-rays on it yet, but at some point, if they've got it, I'd like to get it on Blu-ray too. So.
I got some stuff here. I work with JC Blake now, and Randy, he loves comic books and he loves to tell you about comic books he's got for sale and try to sell you comic books and comic book. But he got me this Ed Kills the Dead. I'm not a big comic book guy, but this is like a little independent thing. My light's kind of fucking with it, but
that's cool.
It's got some like nice black and white. I don't know if you can see that at all, but some really nice artwork. I'm not going to be necessarily getting into comics, but I might hang this on the wall, back here somewhere, what have you. I'm more of a DVD guy, and I went to a fucking garage sale, and Randy, I almost called you because this dude seemed like he was selling all of his childhood collection of everything he ever owned, ever, up to probably PlayStation 2 era, like that. He had like old wrestling figures like from the 80s and 90s, like they used to have the big rubber ones. He had like a whole box full of those. He had Ninja Turtles, all of the Ninja Turtle vehicles. He had Star Wars toys. He had Nintendo's, Sega Genesis, and all kinds of shit, but mostly a lot of toys. Like, I'm not a collector, but there was shit there like pops and all kinds of shit. It seemed like it seemed like his mom was making him sell it or something. But I ended up buying DVDs. He had them $1 a piece. Now these aren't horror titles, but I picked up fucking Clerks DVD, Clerks 2.
Right on.
It's all right.
I like that one a lot. Actually.
Raising Arizona.
Classic.
And
don't you come back here without that baby hat.
one of my favorite Chevy Chase movies, Funny Farm.
Funny Farm. Fuck yeah, dude.
So yeah,
that movie is hilarious.
I was just talking to John Paul about that movie because he was making fun of me. I was watching some 90s movies over the weekend. He's like, why don't you go watch some Chevy Chase movies like Cops and Robbers?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And I was like, if I was going to watch a Chevy Chase movie, I'd watch Funny Farm.
That movie is so fucking funny, dude. Like, when I haven't watched it yet, so I'm saving it. I'm saving it for like a really special occasion. But doesn't he get that dog and it just fucking runs away from him?
I love, my favorite parts of that movie are him trying to fuck with the guy that's driving by his house really fast.
The mailman.
Yeah.
The mailman. And then the snake. Fishing with the snake.
When he's trying to use the phone and he's down on the floor and he's got like
a fucking
change and he's throwing it in a jar.
It's like ching, ching, ching. Yeah. Also when his wife reads his manuscript and she goes, I just don't get it. He goes, what's not to get? It's 4 old army buddies who rob a high stake poker game. what are you, stupid? You know, like,
Yeah, that one's criminally underrated. And
Yeah.
despite Chevy Chase being an asshole, I still really
me
think
too.
he's funny.
He's funny. He's just
Yeah.
kind of a jerk off.
And in the grand scope of things, him just being an asshole is fine.
Yeah.
Humor.
He's not sexually assaulting people or
That we know of.
Not since the 80s.
yeah, it's probably true. I don't want to
we
hear
don't know,
about
but I'm
it.
gonna say
Keep it in the past.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's it, guys. So we'll
All
John,
right,
what you got?
I got something.
Oh, he's got something. There you go.
Yeah. So every year, me and my buddies from college rent a cabin out in Central PA and camp out for a weekend. Every time I go past this this flea market, I get there. I go on a Friday, so it's not open, but it's open Saturdays and Sundays. I usually come back on a Sunday, and this year I decided to stop. And oh my god, the amount of video games they have in movies, that this one like booth, it's like half of this like indoor place is movies and video games, and then like the other half is just rando tables.
Nice.
Well, I found this really cool book written in 1983, $5. Got some real cool, just some real cool pictures in it and stuff like that.
Nice. So is it just about The Shining, or?
No. It's about like all horror movies up till when it was published. They're talking about it's the best, worst, and most unusual. So like, here's a spread about scanners.
Oh, nice.
You
I love shit like that, John.
Dr. Fibes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff like that. There's some
$5. That seems like a heavy, like a $25 book there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. He had I even bought this. I gave it to my father-in-law, this Star Trek book, series, the first series. It was like this thick. It was a $35 book. I got it for $5. It's full color. It's like, I think it describes it describes every episode.
That's
like,
awesome.
Right up. It was really cool, but my father-in-law would like it better. And then I also found, it's like horror adjacent. I found the 45 single for the Goonies Are Good Enough.
Wow.
Oh, that's so fucking cool,
For
man.
$5. And then on the back, it shows like from the Goonies album.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I was like, I have to get this. Even for that's just a lift right from the video. Like, it's right from the music video, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's just so cool.
It looks really cool. Yeah.
I would have got that too. Yeah.
I would have bought it. And without thinking.
They also had Genesis Land of Confusion, the single
with the puppets.
Yeah, so it was done like the one Beatles album where it's like 3 heads on top and then the 4th on the bottom, like
right.
Directly. It looked just like that, but it was the puppets. I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting it. But I mean, what the fuck am I gonna do with it? I'm not gonna listen to this.
You're gonna listen to Land of Confusion? Yeah, right.
Yeah, like it's not even that good of a song.
I did listen to that song the other day.
Really?
I have a work playlist because I just make people listen to my shit at work, and that was on there, and no one was around. I was like, no one's. Like, I was back there by myself.
He was like, yeah.
I'm like, whatever, man.
I like the cover by Stained better.
Did Stained do a cover?
I don't know. There was a cover. Did they do a cover? I thought it was
covered
them, but I wasn't sure.
Yep, they covered Land of Confusion.
That was Disturbed.
Disturbed.
Oh, Disturbed. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Goonies song.
Whatever. Those two bands.
Whatever. It's off the rails.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. We'll let you know about our picks.
Yeah.
Hey, can I tell you guys a really funny story real quick? I know. But this is so fucked up. I was debating on whether or not to tell you. So this has nothing to do with horror. So if you're not into this, tune out now. And Frank, don't be putting this one on Facebook, okay? I don't want my family to see this. You can put it on TikTok. Put it on TikTok. I don't give a shit. But
okay.
But all right, don't be like, hey, Ray had a special day, and then my Aunt Glinda is going to see it. I don't fucking or whoever. But anyway, so long story short, I lost some weight. I'm feeling good. So I decided to go on a dating site. Okay. So So
Grinder.
I built a profile. I'm doing all the right things this time. I'm not lying.
And this is farmersonly.com or something.
Farmersonly.com. But I don't want to say the site because I deleted it off there. I don't want anybody
Oh,
knowing
he's
where I was.
done with it. He
But
got it worked.
Yeah,
He's done with
well,
it.
I'll tell you what happened. So this is why I'm not dating again because for right now because it was too much. So within the first 5 hours, I had 25 hits where
There
people
you
were
go.
sending me messages.
Hey man,
That's too overwhelming for me. I can't respond. Like I can barely text. I'm a fucking old man, you know. So all night I was just responding. Yes, I do like pizza. What do you like? You know, like you're getting to know you shit that I fucking hate anyways. So finally, I narrowed down to three different ladies. Okay, and I'm sending them basically all the same things, just in different intervals, right? You know, like yeah, it's like a form letter that I created, right? So, anyways, I got them to talk. I get it narrowed down to two. The first lady is she's from Baghdad. Okay.
Oh wow.
Well, she lives in Columbus now, and we had a pretty good rapport. But when I called her, she would never answer, and then she would text me like, "Sorry, I'm at work." You know, and I'll be like, "That's cool. Call me when you get off." Then
That
she
sounds like
call
a catfish or something.
exactly. So I was like, "Okay, that one's done." All right. So I deleted her, blocked her. I had one lady left. Okay, so I'm talking to her for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and we were planning on do something, and then something came up with her kid. You know how it is when you're in your. She's 32 and I'm 42, so she's right in the cusp of a teenager and all that shit, right? And I'm like, I get it, you know. I mean, we're new at this; it's no problem. Long story short, one day she's texting me during work hours, and I work from home, so I can text on and off anytime I want, you know. So she was like, "Yeah," she goes, "I just want to get out of here and do something." And I was like, on a whim, I was like, "Why don't you come over here? I work from home. I get off in about 40 minutes." She goes, "I work in Easton. It would take me about 40 minutes to get there." I'm like, "Cool, come on over." And she's like, "I tell you what, I can come over for about 2 hours, and then I got to go because I got to pick my kid up." And I was like, "That's fine." So I cleaned this place like top to bottom, like in 40 minutes. It didn't look bad to begin with. Frank knows I'm pretty nuts without it cleaning, but I got it looking good. I got the bedroom looking good, you know, right? Just in case, right?
Right.
Spray a little cologne on the sheets.
Yeah, I sprayed some nice
Febreze your nuts.
Febreze. Well, dude, I washed my nuts down. They were smelling like
He squashed it
straight up. They smelled like an ocean, like an ocean of nuts. So everything, I mean, I was trimmed. I had a haircut too. My hair's getting a little crazy now, but my beard was trimmed up shorter. But I like this link. Anyways, that's so she gets here. Knock at the door. I'm super excited, but I'm also really nervous, right? I'm inviting a stranger to my house. But we've talked on the phone several times and texted for days and hours. Right. So I opened the door up. Here's what happened.
Oh shit.
She's
Manitou.
80 pounds heavier than her photo. I'm not exaggerating at all. And I don't care. Frank knows, and you guys probably know my personality by now. I don't care how big you are. I just don't like if you lie about it. Like I'm a guy that's like, hey, if you're thick, that's fine. You know, I'm not ever going to be probably 150 pounds ever again. You know, so it's not a big deal to me. But the fact that she used old pictures kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh yeah. She goes, I got my hair dyed. I look a little different. The first thing she said to me, though, I swear to God, guys, is she's like, God, those stairs, because I live on the second floor. She's like, those stairs. I was like, yeah, they'll get you. All 8 of them. They'll get you. It's 8 stairs. But anyways, she comes inside and she smells real nice, you know, and stuff. And she's fun. Again, when I built this profile, I didn't lie. I said I'm into movies, TV shows, video games, books. I do a podcast. You know, I read, I write. So all this nerd stuff. And she the whole time has been telling me she likes that. So I'm showing her around my place. I'm like, yeah, I got this poster from a buddy. I've got this from a con. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm not really into movies that much. So I don't know any of this stuff. And I was like, really? Because on your profile, it said that you like movies. She goes, yeah, I watch movies once in a while. Everybody does. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she was like, well, what's back there? And I down the hallway. And I was like, well, there's the restroom and then my bedroom. Here, let me show you. I have my books that I've written in there on the shelf. And I was like, here's the books I've written, because I like to prove to people, you say that and you can be an author, you got a fucking, million different things I could have lied about it easily. But I was like, yeah, I published books, here they are. Then I have all my action figures, right? So she's looking at those. She goes, what are all these dolls? And I was like, first off, they're not dolls. These are horror action figures. And these are all my favorites.
And
from
you
when I was
don't
a
touch
kid.
them. You
Yeah,
don't touch them.
They're not for fun. They're for looking. And they're all from the 80s and 90s of my favorite stuff. And then I have I have a dresser, and I've got some on a dresser with some books, and I have books on my bookshelf. And she looked around. She was like picking up stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, don't touch that." Okay.
Oh my god!
I wish you would have had.
Yeah.
God, if you would have known it was going to go south, you could have set it up so great. You could have had a little bowl with soap and a couple of guys in there. I was just washing my guys earlier. I don't know.
So anyways, we're standing there, and I have God, I'm such a fucking dork. But I've got on my wall, I've got hat racks, and I have all these hats. So like Wayne Enterprises, the Nostromo from Alien. And she's like, what are these? These are neat looking. And I was like, yeah, that's from Batman. And finally she turns around. She's like, so do you want to fuck or?
Yeah.
And I was like, sure. Right. So we start to fool around, but she's so heavy that my bed is making these awful sounds. Because I've just got your classic little metal frame, not the big frame, like I don't have so I was, and again, she's not like, she's probably, over 250, 260, but she was like way smaller in the photos. So, but with me on the bed and her on the bed, it was, and it's a full size bed, but it's not huge, So we're like messing around, and she's like, this bed's making all these noises. Let's stand up. And I was like, let's stand up. And I was like, that's going to be a little difficult. I don't got the legs I used to have. Like, she goes, no. She's like, just stand up. Trust me. I'm like, okay. So she like grabs my shorts and just pulls them off of me and fillets me.
Chows down on the no part.
Yeah. And then like this goes on for a while, and then, things end, and she gets up, goes to my restroom for like 5 minutes, and I'm just sitting on the edge of my bed with my pants still down. Like, I don't know what to do, like, does she want reciprocated? Is this going to be, I don't know what to do here. So I pull my pants back up.
Cab fare.
Yeah, right. I pull my pants back up, and she comes back in, and she had taken her shirt off, so she's putting her shirt back on and stuff. And she's like talking to me about her kid and what he's doing in school, and how her work's going and stuff. And we're sitting there talking. I'm like, yeah. And then she tries to lean in for a kiss, and I was like, oh,
what?
I was like, yeah,
Randy,
I just came on your mouth, man. And she was like, oh yeah. She goes, hold on, I'll be right back. She like washed her lips off, and then came back and gave me a kiss. And she was like, okay, well, we'll have to have a real date soon. And I was like, all right, cool. So she leaves. That was like an hour. Right? Like a span of an hour, that all happened. So I locked my door, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what was that? And so the next day she texts me, and she's like, hey, I got my hair did, like laughy faces. And it was like bright red. It looked cool. I was like, cool. By the way, she had a tongue ring, and I'm too old for all that shit. Take your tongue rings out,
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
that's funny.
So we were talking back and forth, and she was like, yeah, I got to go out of town this weekend with some friends and see a friend of mine from college. And she said, he is a real nice guy. You'd like him. And I was like, yeah, he sounds great, right? And then I didn't hear from her ever again. She just stopped talking to me. So after that, I went back on the dating site and deleted my profile off. I was like, I'm not ready for all of this. This is too much.
Well, was that the only way she could get a hold of you?
No, she's got my number.
Oh, well, you'll hear from her again.
Possibly.
Yeah, eventually.
We'll see. Yeah.
I don't think a girl comes over and does that kind of stuff and then it's like, what's up? I mean, maybe they do.
Yeah. I think she was saying, I think she said she was new to it, but I think she was new to that particular site. I think she's probably got like a harem of dudes, and she like goes there and it's like, oh, this guy, like, we didn't have sex, so I don't. Maybe she was like that. He's out of the picture. I've got Ricky over here doing the right
Captured
stuff.
his soul.
Yeah. His bed doesn't sound like it's about to fall through the floor.
Yeah.
That
That is a crazy fun story, Randy.
Yeah, so here I am, Frank, 42 years old, still having the same shit happen to me that when we were in our 20s.
Still getting PJs.
I don't know what to do, man. I'm just trying to get into a relationship, bro. That's all.
Well, I mean, you gotta just it sounds crazy, but if a girl sucks your dick, Randy, and you come in her mouth, you have to kiss her on the lips.
Oh, okay.
That's just part of it. It's part of the deal.
I've done that with ladies I've dated and dated for a while.
Oh, that's
never with a complete stranger.
Oh yeah, it's different though. That is a different.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah.
But
I
she
didn't
did
know.
like that might even put more pressure on it,
Yeah.
She came over and gave you a real how to do. She didn't even like your stuff.
Yeah.
She's like,
did.
wow, I hate all of this.
She
was
wasn't
like,
oh,
yeah. I mean, she even looked at my workstation. I've got Funko Pops on my desk, and she's like, "God, you collect those?" I was like, "No, those were gifts."
You
One was
paraded
for-
her through. You
Yeah.
paraded her through your kingdom of nerddom, and then she sucked your dick.
That's true.
Yeah.
You could have kissed her on the mouth.
I'm very sorry. I was just kind of shocked. I'm like, "Whoa, that's a pretty,
that is a bold move.
that's a bold move, right?" I mean, I'm not wrong in that. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a crazy night. And after she left, I sat there for like 5 minutes and was like, I think I'm gonna go for a run now. So
Did you feel
You just
used?
sat there and reflected.
Did
Yeah.
you felt used, didn't you?
I felt great. If I could get that,
I was used.
I told our buddy, Jean Paul about it, and he kept calling her Uber blowjobs.
Maybe
He's
she
like,
was
"Does she just drive by and give you a blowjob and leave?"
Maybe you should be careful. Maybe she's some sort of weird cum vampire or something.
He's a serial blower.
I've got enough for everyone. So
Oh,
if she needs
hear
it,
that? Hear that, lady? He's got enough for
Yeah. She was very aggressive. Guys, that's what I want to say. Ladies
sounds
Very
today,
aggressive.
especially girls that are younger
Everybody's
than
busy.
me, they're very aggressive.
Everybody's so busy.
One of the other ladies I talked to was a nurse, and I liked her quite a bit. But she kept like saying, "Oh, I've got to go back into work," and I'm like, "I can't go." Well, do you ever take a day off because you're a nurse? So
They work like 14-hour shifts.
yeah. So, but
Yeah, fun.
that's me, John. This has been happening to me for 22 years, and I can't
Doesn't that
just get one
sound
to stick
terrible?
around. Yeah, it doesn't sound terrible. Like, wouldn't you love it if somebody came in and insulted everything you loved and then just blew you in love?
That's fucking hilarious.
It's quite a
It's
move.
hilarious because it's like, all right, I'm running this scenario in my head, right? And I'm like, all right, it takes her what, 40 minutes to get to your place?
Yeah, she was coming from the other side of
Something's
Columbus at 40
happening.
minutes.
No one makes a 40-minute drive on a first, hey, I never met you before, and
Right?
ain't gonna happen. Something.
That's why I got all cleaned up, because I was like, yeah, I'm
Right.
probably gonna get laid at some point.
That's right. Balls are ocean fresh.
Yeah.
Like, let's stick them on
It's
her
funny because
face.
when she pulled my pants down, I heard seagulls.
Yeah. I heard Jimmy Buffett play.
Yeah. Margaritaville.
Oh my god.
Looking for you. I was like, you down there looking for that lost steak shaker of salt?
Yeah. But like if some rando chick came in and saw my shit and like she said she was into it on the dating profile, and then she was like, what's all this? I'd be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. I
God.
like looked around with, this is my life. This is what I love.
Yeah, this is me.
Maybe she would.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't want to seem desperate, and she loved all your stuff, and that's what ended up with you in the situation you were in. She saw
Could
more and
be.
more stuff that was cool to her.
Yeah, she still
and then-
blew him, so I don't know. I mean, she's
I'm thinking that she really wanted to blow a famous author, and she nailed it. She nailed
Oh,
it.
very good.
That's where we end it.
That's where we
end it.
That's the capper.
Well,
Don't put your
thanks-
foot through a Van Gogh.
Thanks for sharing that, Ray.
That was awesome.
You
What
guys
a
are welcome.
story! What a trip down Randy Lane.
They
I like
always end like that, John, with me confused and usually satisfied with sex.
Confused but satisfied.
He just happenstances his way into that kind of shit.
I usually come out of any room I've just had sex and confused. Like, how did that
Gary
happen?
Lewis is his way into the situation.
It's
He's like, pretty lady.
Hey, lady, you want to suck on my balls? They're fresh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. All right,
Oh,
guys.
you guys are awesome.
Well, have a good night, fellas.
Good night, guys.
Talk to you later, guys. Have a good
We'll see you guys next time.
See you.